Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is Warren Dews. I'm the publisher of the Ravenna News Herald and the Greenville Pioneer. And as you've heard before, we have started a something called community conversations, where we meet with different businesses under the umbrella called Get to Know. And today we're going to get to know a new friend of mine. And friend, who are you? Tell everybody who you are and who you work with.
My name is Suzanne, and I am part owner with my mom of Janine's Floral Creations in Ravenna. And I've lived here pretty much all my life. I grew up and went to Greenville school. And she opened when I was 8. I started working for her when I was about 15, and that was 21 years ago. So here we are.
Yeah, I was
She
gonna say,
opened 21 years ago. I didn't work for her 21 years ago.
okay. So how long's the business been together? How long? 21 years ago?
We opened in 99.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. It just amazes me how when I started doing this Get to Know and I started talking to businesses that have been around these markets for 20, 30, I mean, a couple of businesses, 100 years, just crazy. You're obviously doing something right, and to be able to still be open during this COVID craziness.
Yeah.
So what did you or your mom, what do you think kept you in business all this time, especially during COVID?
So during COVID, we were shut down. Right when COVID first started, we were shut down for, the month because we weren't considered essential at the time. But as a floral industry, we really push for the fact that we kind of are essential. Flowers bring happiness and they bring smiles to people. And especially when people are stuck in their homes and they're not able to leave. And, a lot of the elderly are just not going out right now. People are getting groceries delivered and stuff like that. So there's no human interactions right now. So those flowers really bring a smile to people's faces. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that our flowers have a good longevity. They're, we get everything in fresh. We get a delivery almost every single day. So, our flowers are not sitting on a shelf for 2, 3, 4 days to 2, 3, 4 weeks before we're sending them out. They are, fresh through our door and then back out the door, to be delivered. So.
And so I talked to someone else that their business started by their parents and then they kind of took it over. So, is this something you wanted to do? No.
No. And everybody here will tell you that. So I have a degree in gerontology. I went off to college and I said, as a kid growing up here, I mean, holidays, it does, when you have funeral work or weddings, you can't take a vacation, so my mom was gone Christmases and Thanksgiving and Mother's Day, when you're a little girl in school and the school is throwing a tea party for moms and your mom can't be there because Mother's Day is the busiest holiday. I was like, no, this is not what I want for my life. I do not want this. I don't want to work here. I'm going off to college and doing my own thing. So I went off to college, got a 4-year degree, got a huge chunk of debt, and came back and I was like, wow, I really love doing this. And here I am.
What was the major? You jumped over real quick. What is that again?
I majored in gerontology.
What is that?
So working with the elderly.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nothing to do with flowers at all.
Well, you're kind of working with all ages of life, but like you said, flowers bring all people happiness, especially people that are older. But that's strange. So when did you click and say, okay, I'm going to do this? So is your mother holding you hostage right now? Wink your eye and let me know.
Help. So when I came back from college, I had a lot of debt and I didn't have a job. So I needed to work and, being my mom, she's like, well, I've got work. So here it is. And I'm really, the best thing about being here and working here is how creative I get to be. I'm a crafter. I scrapbook and I crochet and I, do all sorts of things on the side. So like being able to be creative is literally in my blood. So, and that's what I love most about being here is, yeah, it's not, some days you've got paperwork and stuff like that. So it's not every day, but you get to play and, be creative. And it's just, I'm a people person. So I like seeing people. A desk job is not the job for me. you know. I just like to be with people. And so that's kind of what happened. I came back, I started working for her, and I got a little bit more freedom in things, you
Okay.
know, because I wasn't just working holidays and stuff like that. I was working everyday things when you could do whatever you wanted. Oh, it's somebody's birthday. I don't care what you send, just send something cheerful. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what I think really did it for me. And you know, ever since then, here I am.
So, man, is your mother working with you too, or is it? Oh, she
Yes.
is. Okay.
So I had a baby in November of 2019. And so I was obviously out when I had the baby. And now my mom is a grandma and she is loving every minute of being a grandma. So my mom watches my daughter a couple of days a week. And then so I've taken a little bit more responsibility and things here so that she can, you know, be a grandma and do those things. I have a younger brother. There's 17 years between us. I have a younger sister also, but the age gap isn't so big there. So my brother is only 12. He's still in school. So my mom's able to be a mom at the same time. She's able to do the school functions and stuff like that. So I've taken over a little bit and she's being a mom and a grandma and
That's
enjoying
awesome.
every second of it.
That is awesome. So one of the things we talked about, when people see your title, you're a florist, but you said that you're more than that. And so
Oh
explain
yeah.
explain that to me.
So, in our name, when we chose the name 20 years ago, it's Janine's Floral Creations. So that floral kind of stops a lot of people, and thinks that we're just flowers. We are not just flowers. We have a huge gift line out front. We carry leaning tree cards, which are the greatest cards. They're beautiful. We carry candy and teddy bears, and we do balloon arches for parties, and we do wedding work, and we do fruit and goodie baskets. You know, there's a lot more than just that floral aspect of it. And a lot of people don't realize it because they don't realize all of the gifty things. We'll have people who have lived in this community for, 15 plus years, and they come in and they say, oh, I didn't know you carried all this, because they do everything online or over the phone. They didn't. And the name doesn't scream that there's other things going on behind these doors. And there's a lot going on behind these doors.
Well, and this is why we're doing this. Get so people can get to know you. That's why we're doing this. So, what are some of those things? And I've been in your store, and it is amazing. And I looked around. I was like a kid in a candy store because, as I told you, my mother put me through college by creating stuff. She was a buyer at Lord and Taylor's, but later on she started creating things. So, tell me some of the things you have there.
So in addition to the card line and the gifty things, we also work with a couple of local people and do consignment. We have a young kid from the community who does woodworking, and he makes like wooden pens and wooden cutting boards and stuff. So we carry his line of stuff. We have a local woman who does handmade jewelry, beautiful jewelry. We carry that. My sister crochets, so she's got crocheted blankets in here. So we just try to bring in a little bit of the community at the same time. We are a small business, so same mom, we're working hard. We're real moms working hard. So being able to help out the community and just have that whole sense of, little people helping the other little people, that's something that we really take a good pride in. So we've got all sorts of those like little things. And then we carry, ceramic birds, and we have bird houses, and we have an entire primitive country line that many people do not know that we carry. We have like wreaths and things at Christmas time. The list could go on and on what we carry
My
at
head is
holiday
spinning.
time.
Bird. I mean, Dad, you got everything there. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
everything.
So, Valentine is coming up. Valentine's Day is coming up. It's right around the corner. What are some special things you got going on there?
So we are carrying Uncle Sam's chocolates. So for Valentine's Day, in addition to the dozen roses and the typical Valentine's things, we're carrying Uncle Sam's chocolates. So that's cool. We've got the chocolate roses. They are roses made out of chocolate. So we've got those this year. We've got a huge stuffed animal teddy bear line. More than just bears. There's dogs and monkeys and all sorts of that stuff too. So we've got that going on for Valentine's Day. The handmade jewelry. Like I said, she makes beautiful jewelry. So especially right now with the times, a lot of people are not heading to the mall as much,
Hmm.
trying to stay away from like the big box stores. You could do a lot of your shopping in here, and at Christmas time a lot of people do their shopping in here because they want to avoid the big box stores. Everything that we have in here is pretty unique. It's not stuff that you're going to find at the mall, which is, something else that we take pride in. We like to be different, and we don't want to sell you 47 of the same thing. We like that there's a couple little things, and what you're gifting to your mom isn't going to be the same thing that 20 other people are gifting to their mom.
So let me tell you another thing. One of the other reasons why I know you've been around for a long time for a reason is I did the same thing for someone that would be your competition, Karen's
Yeah.
flower shop in Cairo or Cairo. And when I talked to her, I said something, and she talked about you and your company and your business, and she said how
Yeah.
great y'all are.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, that took me back for a second because I was trying to, I mentioned, I don't know why it happened, but she said, "Yeah, y'all do amazing things," and I just thought that was amazing. And then when I talked to you about her, you did the same thing. So,
Yeah. We love each other. So part of, I guess, what makes us stand out a little bit is the fact that we are continuing our education constantly. I am constantly researching and learning new things and taking workshops. And in April of 2019, we took a trip together. So me, my mom, and Karen, we went to Texas, and we did I think it was 3 days down in Texas. We did this whole big, learning thing. It was hands-on. We were able to touch and learn, and we used different containers and different methods. And it was a small group. There was only like 12 of us, but 3 of us were together. And then afterwards, we went to the zoo and stuff together. But Karen is great. We work really closely with her. We cover different areas. So we have a very minor overlap. I wouldn't call us competition because we do work so closely together. Yeah, she's great. And, when you have the floral business is a really tough business because it's, unfortunately, you can get things at the grocery store. Not the same quality for sure.
mhm.
But if you don't know, and you're, especially at like Thanksgiving time, people are in the grocery store picking up their turkey. So they'll grab, one of those loose bouquets that are just sitting there. So, working with Karen and being able to do things back and forth, we have a really special relationship with her.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this other question. So why should people come to you? Why should people come into your store and buy online or come in person? Why?
I would answer that in a couple of different ways. One, the longevity that I'm talking about. We have people who come in here and they'll tell us your flowers are the longest lasting flowers I've ever had. I've had them for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Not everything lasts for 3 or 4 weeks, but we do take pride in the fact that our flowers are long lasting. And we process them and we take care of them so that way we get the best life out of them. And back to that education thing, I'm constantly learning what is the best methods and what can we do to better things and whatnot. So that's definitely why you should shop here. Part one. Part two, back to the unique things, the unique gifts and things that we have. It's just stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. And part three would be you're supporting your community. Like we are moms in the community. It's family run. Right before you started recording, my cousin was over here. She helps us out at holiday time and during the week. So, we're all family here, even the ones that aren't technically by blood. We've been here together long enough that we are now family. And, when you support a small business, I'm able to support back into the community when the school calls and wants an ad in the yearbook, or the drama club wants, a little bit of help with their drama production. If you support me, I can support them. Those big box stores, you're probably not going to get a donation from, but I try to donate to just about everybody as long as I can. Obviously, things are a little tough this year with COVID and everything, but I try to support that community as best that we possibly can. And, so by giving to me, you're giving back to your community.
That's amazing. So I wanted to bring this up, and you and I didn't talk about this, but my company owns Local Eats and Essentials. Basically, it's a website where people can go in and order from restaurants and order from different restaurants. But as you realize, I said local eats and essentials. The essentials would be places like you. So we need to talk about that because I definitely want to add you to that, where people can order from things from you. The difference is, everybody, I want to make sure you understand. A lot of these online things that supposedly help businesses take a lot of money from these businesses, and our company doesn't do that. So I just wanted to put that out there. You and I'll talk more about that. But you're shaking your head, so I want to talk about that before we go.
Yeah.
How do those online things affect you?
So what in our industry we call them order gatherers, and they're places such as 1-800-Flowers, and there's a huge list. I could go on for days who these order gatherers are. But essentially what they do is they kind of take over the internet a little bit because they have the money, they have the funds. I don't have the funds to put a $5,000 ad on Google. So they do, and they're able to bring themselves to the top. If you were to Google florists in Ravenna, New York, or florist in Caro, New York, Karen and I are not going to be the top ones that come up. The first one is probably going to be Avis Flowers. And it looks like, it's a florist that's right there in that town. But as you and I know, we are the only ones in these towns. Mm-hmm. And what they do is they gather the order, they take the order from you, they charge you a service fee and a surcharge and a this, that, and the other thing. And then they take that order and they try to send it to a florist. So let's just say you ordered online through one of those and you're sending it to your mom. Now they try to send it to me, and they keep the surcharges and they keep the fees and they keep 20% of your order. So you spend $100 after everything, and they end up sending me like $60, and they call, and they're usually very sneaky about it. And they want, an order, and it doesn't matter. And they'll tell me whatever color that arrangement is that you picked. I'm just something in lavender and white. I send a lavender and white arrangement for $60 when I take my delivery charge out. Now it's $50, and you've spent over $100, and you get this arrangement that is nothing like what you ordered, and for half the price of what you ordered. When you order directly through either calling or through our website, or there's no other added fees. We have a delivery charge, but it's not an added fee. Obviously if you want something delivered, that's different. But we don't charge surcharges and stuff like that. It's, the money goes into the flowers and into, what you're ordering. It doesn't go into these big market pocketbooks.
Awesome. So one of the things I wanted to mention, I appreciate you talking about that, because that's why we created Local Eats and Essentials, so we can help y'all. And you and I can talk more about it later, but basically Local Eats and Essentials allows a customer like me, I can go online and I can order from you. I can order, say I wanted to get a meal, so I want to get a meal from Simone's, or a meal from another place. I can order all those things all on one bill. There's a convenience fee, but it doesn't take money from you. It doesn't take any money from you, and it's from $1 to $5. So the convenience of the person is able to go online and order from 3 or 4 different local restaurants or businesses such as yourself and get one bill. When they pay their bill, an email will go out to all those businesses and say, hey, Warren's coming to get his flowers. Warren's coming to get his pizza. Warren's coming to get his things from Simone's, whatever it is. And it's just, we created this so these other platforms will stop stealing from everyone, because they're taking money from you and they're taking money from the consumer.
Yep.
And they're the middleman, and it's not right. So that's why we created that. So we're about to end this. What I want to ask you now is, remember we talked about walking around. Are you able to do that? Are you able to show people the?
I think we're good. If we want to walk around, I think we can do that right now.
So what I want to do is, while you get yourself ready to do that, I want you to show people what the inside looks like. So let's do that real quick before we go.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Told everybody, follow her.
Follow me around. So first, since we're in the back, I'll show you the back. We have a very large and walk-in cooler, and I'll just pop in because it's super noisy in there.
Oh my God.
We're getting ready for Valentine's Day. So here's our huge walk-in cooler. So there's that. And then we've got a back door. So all of our deliveries go right out the back. And our workbenches. Then we'll bring you out front. And let's turn you around. I'll show you some of the things that we have in here.
Oh,
All
that's
right,
cool.
this is the front of our store. So we've got our cooler out here that we try to keep stocked with just easy grab and go arrangements for those people that are in a hurry for things. We've got a lot of our country. This is our farmhouse country stuff. And then we've got some more of the other country. Do a little zoom in here.
That's beautiful. Awesome.
And then here's our beautiful card line. And we get so many compliments on our card line. They're really, really nice cards. This is the out of the woodworks that we carry. So this is the guy that makes the cutting boards and things that I was telling you about. He's got bowls, wine stoppers, all sorts of cool things. There's his pens. And then we carry an entire line of sympathy things with our angels and our crosses. Super beautiful stuff there. This is the jewelry line by the local person that I was talking about. That's called Handcrafted Elegance. And then there's some of my sister's blankets that she crochets. But we have, so right here's our front door. So if you're walking in from the front door, obviously we're set up for Valentine's Day right now. So lots of red and white going on in here. But we carry, oh my gosh, we have to have probably 1,000 different pieces of glass and vases in here. There is the Uncle Sam's candy that we're carrying for the holiday, and some of the bears. There's those roses I talked about before. Those are chocolate roses. We've got everything from the gift bags right on up. Here we have some of the teddy bears. These are locally handcrafted goat milk soaps.
Oh my goodness.
So it's huge. Do a quick little run through here. Got a nice big storefront. There's my table for wedding estimates. We're all over the place.
Awesome. So to everyone listening now, whenever you listen, I want you to know what I'm going to do for y'all for safety purposes. I'm going to taste one of the roses just to make sure it's safe.
Good plan. Good plan. Make sure everything's good to go, right?
As the publisher of the paper, I have to do those things for people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Take one for the team.
I have to. Just do me a favor. Just don't tell my wife. That's all.
Okay.
Well, listen, you have been amazing. It's been amazing to get to know you, and I hope our readers and listeners enjoyed it as much as I did. So do me a favor, tell me real quick your address, your phone number, how people can contact you.
Sure. So it's Janine's Floral Creations. Our phone number is 518-756-3767. Been the same phone number since we've been here, so that's cool. Our address is 2447 Route 9W. We're in the same plaza as the car wash and Napa, right at the it's like 5 corners with Stewart's and Cumberland Farms, where the old Rite Aid used to be. We're right at the corner there. So we're pretty easy to find.
Well, listen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And everybody, please stop by and support local. That's how our communities thrive, if we support local. And this is once again, this is Warren Dues. This is part of our community conversations. And this is Get to Know. Susan, probably down the road, I might ask you to do a Ask the Expert, how to keep flowers in your house. So we can talk about that later. But thank you, everybody. You have a nice day, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Hey, bye-bye.
Take care.